Hey, Sibby, what's going on?
Hey man, how are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Good to finally get together here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me change my sound settings.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you great. Did you called me through Hangouts, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is a little different than normal for some reason, but I should be able to share my screen still. All right, so today we're gonna go over your questionnaire, and then
Okay.
we'll get into, if we can, we'll get into one concept. We'll see. This isn't going to be one of our sessions, so it's really just to get to know you and how to tailor the program to you. And I'm doing it a little different with you because we're only doing 4 right now, and then you're going to make the decision if you want to continue, right?
Okay. Right.
So normally I do like 8 sessions or 20 sessions. So if as soon as you know you want to continue, you probably want to feel it out right now. Let me know because then I'll know. Otherwise, I'll pack in what I can in 4. Otherwise, I know okay, I've got 8, and how I'll do it the way I normally do it.
Is the curriculum different if you do it the way you're doing it with me right now?
Yeah, I've never done it this way, so it's always 8 or 20. But I think you were a little wondering what it's going to be like and kind of feel it out first. So um, the 2 things I'm going to go over first, I would go over with anybody, but they normally come a little later. But I want to make sure to get it to you now, especially because earnings season is coming up. So it's going to be, you can't see me, can you?
No, I
I think
can't.
I have my webcam blocked. Okay, here we go. All right. So, yeah, so we'll go over the first 2 sessions will be earnings breakouts and earnings breakdowns, which
Okay.
are going to be really good because earnings season is going to be starting first or second week of October. So at least you're gonna have that.
Yeah, I
And your
think.
focus is swing, right?
Yeah, I emailed Brian. He said he did really well after the earnings session with you.
Oh yeah, right. Brian, yeah, he's been knocking it out of the park. Specifically, the earnings breakdowns, which most people don't trade. They focus on the breakouts,
Mhm.
but I trade a lot of the breakdowns. That's good. So you got in touch with him. Did you guys email or did you talk on the phone?
Just email. I asked
Oh
like a
yeah,
bunch of questions. What to if he could do something different that he did that he could have done when he was learning under you, or like what to concentrate on, just some
right.
tips.
Yeah. He's doing really good. Okay, all right. So let's go over the questionnaire. And do you have any questions for me before we even begin?
um like a million, but
Okay, all right.
I mean,
We'll go through the questionnaire. The other
okay.
thing you should do is create a document in Google Drive and then share it with me. Not with the Sing JD email, but with the my Gmail, which is you can write this down, Paul, or you have it here on the Hangouts, pauljsing@gmail.com. Create a shared document, and anytime you have questions, just put it in there so I can see them before our sessions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what happens a lot of times is people have questions, and then when we're in the session, they forget. And if I've got the it's all in the document. We know
Yeah. Okay.
what to hit. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen here. Let's see. I've
Did
got
you
your
ever
question.
you ever use Google Hangouts to do your sessions? Is that what you do usually?
This is what I normally use. Yeah,
So
and
every time I talk, my screen is like switching back to me off of you. Do you know how to stop that by any chance?
oh, that's weird. No, I've never seen that happen before. So, um, what are you seeing right now?
I see your screen, but every time I talk, I think the mic picks that up and it switches my face back onto the screen. I'm just trying to
Oh
understand.
no, I've never seen that before. I don't know why it's doing that. You want to? Let's do this. Let's get out of the call and get back in. This time, I'll call you. Maybe
No,
that'll maybe.
I need to do this because I'm recording it this way.
Oh, okay, okay. Maybe do you have a thumbnail in the corner?
Yeah, I'm trying to mess with that right now.
Okay. Now so this is weird. Now I see my own screen. Yeah, it's usually not like this. I don't know what's going on. Um, okay, are you seeing my screen now? Hello? Hey, Sibby, I don't know what's going on, but I lost you. I can see your face here, but I can't hear you anymore. Hello?
Yeah. Hey,
Okay, there we go. There we go.
I tried
Uh,
to. Okay, looks like I only see your screen now, which is good when I talk, which is perfect.
okay, all right, perfect, perfect. Okay, so we're just going to go through the questionnaire here, and then we'll get into a little bit of earnings breakouts.
Okay.
Okay, so mechanical engineering, Con Edison. So you're in New York?
Yeah, I live in
All right.
Brooklyn. I grew up in New York.
So I guess you're Brooklyn, so you'd be a Yankees fan then, right?
Yeah, baseball. I mean, I don't really follow, but I do root for the Yankees. I'm more of a football guy. I'm a Jet,
Giants?
I'm a Jets fan.
Oh, Jets. All right. Well, it didn't look too good last night, but I think that your quarterback's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, even though he threw a late interception, which wasn't so great yesterday. All right. So you've been trading so you started kind of when I started, 21 to 24. Then again, okay, you've been doing a lot of swing trading, long-term trend following. Um, and that's mostly what you've been doing, swing trading, longer-term trend type trades.
Yeah, I found that my best profits come from when I hold something for like a couple weeks to a couple months.
Okay.
When
And
I
what's your
found,
schedule? What's your schedule with trading? Are you trading around the open, or are you at work? What's your availability in terms of the
I, I
market?
I left my job, so it's just I mean this is what I'm doing now full term.
Oh,
So
okay, okay, good, good. Okay, so you might want to, if you're doing this, if you're looking to do this full time, and you're in front of the screens, you might want to, if we end up doing the full plan, whatever you end up doing. But I'll introduce you to some day trading. I don't know if you've done day trading before.
I feel like it doesn't really go with like my style.
Okay, I'll introduce it to you anyway, and I wouldn't say really do it, but you can paper trade and work on it. My day trading is exclusively the first hour, so it's not like you're staring at the screen all day.
Right.
But I'll at least introduce you to that, and I think you'd probably take to it.
No, yeah,
Um,
I would definitely be interested. I think like the skill set of day trading would definitely come in handy when you're
yeah,
doing.
and I built my account swing trading, and then I started day trading when I went full time, just because I got bored, sitting here. I'd
Right.
have like 10 swings on and I'm doing nothing. So I got into day trading, and it's worked out really well. So we'll see later on, but we can always work in some sessions that you could work in, and you can even come in and watch me live while I'm trading in the morning.
Okay, that's great.
And it's only an hour. So I basically, most of my trades, I don't know if I showed you my trade review, but most of my trades come in that first hour.
Okay. I think
All
when I
right.
when I put on a couple trades, I usually do it in the first.
Okay, good, good. Stanberry Associates, I've never heard of them. Is this a swing trading type strategy?
No, he's a value guy. I just like the
Oh,
way he
okay.
writes. Um, I don't really use them for trading. I
More
keep
longer
that
term type
for
stuff.
like, overall market perspective and ideas he's focusing on.
Okay, good. So you've read a lot of books. I've read almost all of these books. A lot of them are kind of older, from the early 2000s.
Mhm.
Um, Honestly, most of these, you probably found this too, most of these don't really help you trade.
Right.
Um,
Great books, but they're not going to teach you how to trade.
yeah, yeah. Trading in the Zone is really good. I've read that at least 11 or 12 times. Another one, if you're looking for something to read, I don't know if you've read it, is Trade Mindfully.
Okay.
It's in the vein of Trading in the Zone, but it's more in depth. So you might want to pick up that book. And those are only two that I would ever really recommend reading. Um, okay, short-term goals. Basically, just kind of get the foundation and try to start trading profitably, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we will definitely be doing a lot of trade reviews, stats, market trend analysis. All right. Um, okay, and you want to go full time?
Yes.
Okay.
I will be full time when I start this. I'll be doing is the only thing I'll be doing.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay. So you rated your mental toughness as 7 or 8, and why did you give yourself that grade?
I feel like I've been. I guess mental toughness. I'm thinking in terms of how well you do when you're down on a trade, or you're losing on a trade, or you just had a losing trade. And I
Hmm.
feel like that's the only thing I've had in like the last few years that I've gotten just so used to it. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't. I'm telling you, I'm used to it. I don't know if that makes me mentally tough.
So, and then you get upset, yeah, more frustration than upset when you have a losing trade. And you've had a big rundown. So you had a over 100K account, right? And it's down to 5,000 now.
Yeah, I think 4,000 now.
Okay. So yeah, there's different ways to think about mental toughness, and it's kind of odd that a lot of times the mental toughness aspect that makes you successful in other things, like with you engineering, getting through, engineering's tough in college, getting through that,
Mhm.
getting your job, whatever you had to do in your job, all these things that you were mentally tough. And sometimes it's kind of odd that in trading, those traits are actually not a good thing. Like, stick to itiveness, like really, not giving up on something. Sometimes with trading, that's actually a bad thing. You want to be able to give up on certain things when you're trading. And that could be part of the reason that, your account drops. You don't want to give up on trades and a number of other factors. But obviously, in another sense, in terms of mental toughness, you've had this rundown, but you're sticking with it, right?
Yeah,
So that's a positive. So
yeah.
that's good.
I'm holding,
Um,
barely like holding on.
right, right. Well, it's tough when I've been through it where you have big drawdowns. Okay. So you have a plan when you go into a trade. Okay, I'm going into this trade. This is where I'm going to get out. This is where I want my target to be. You're laying all that out before you get in.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, but I realize the way I've been picking, those points are not really, technical. It's kind of arbitrary.
Hmm. And then this drawdown that you've had, first, how long of a period is it since, what was it, like 130 or 140, and then it went down to 5
About a year.
in 1 year? Okay. Now, how has that happened? Has it been just accumulation of your stops being hit, stops being hit, stops being hit, or is it a few blow up type trades where you didn't stick to your stops, you took too big a position?
Combination of those two, and
Okay.
like fearfully and frantically. I
Okay.
think
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think it's because when I left my job,
Mhm.
it's like I had a steady paycheck for 15 years, and now it's like I felt like this pressure to make more money, so forcing trades and
That is tough. Yeah. When you're relying on your own trades, you
yeah,
have to like get all of that out because you're going to make big mistakes then.
yeah,
Um, we'll get to the question later on about kind of financial situation, because that can impact your trading, and
yeah,
you already experienced that. It was tough when I broke out full time in 2012, and that was one of the first things. It's like, just knowing that you don't have that what you've been used to. Now, are you in a situation where you can always go back and work in your field if you wanted to, or is
yeah. I
it
mean,
tough to get a job?
I don't see why not. No,
Okay,
no.
so you're not in a
Well,
situation where, I mean, in a sense, it's you want to make this work, but you do have other options.
I do. I mean, if I really had to, but to be honest with you, like someone uh, offered me a job like
Uh,
a couple months ago, and I broke into like a panic.
like,
I
do
don't
you want to do like you?
know. I don't want to go. Like just the thought of going back into like a corporate office with like the
Right,
furniture. I can't. I'm not going to do it
right,
anymore. I mean, that's
right.
the idea. I mean, if I had to, I would. But
Uh-huh.
I would rather not.
Okay, okay. Ameritrade. Okay. Ameritrade is Thinkorswim is awesome. Um, and I'm going to start using it. I used it in the past. I switched over to IB. Um, if
What's I-
you ever start day trading,
what's
uh,
IB?
interactive brokers.
Okay, so I
So
see. Go ahead, finish your thought.
yeah, so let me explain this to you. I don't, maybe you know this already. Ameritrade is a retail broker.
Right?
So, and you can do some research on this, but um, it's not, you're not, you're paying a commission, and, IB has better commissions, but that's not the main reason for switching. It's because when you make a trade, you may have noticed this. When you make a trade, sometimes there's a little lag in from when you make the trade to when you get filled, and a lot of times you get filled at prices you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even notice because this is happening in milliseconds. But Ameritrade is selling off your trade to other people. So when you get filled, you're not getting filled at the best price. And these differences for swing trading, it's not a huge deal. But if you ever day trade, those differences become huge because you're making so many trades
Yeah.
that these, whether it's 20 cents or 50 cents, whatever it is, it adds up over time.
Yeah.
So if you ever go into day trading, I would say you almost can't be successful being on Ameritrade. With swing trading, it's not a huge deal. You're making 100, 200 trades a year. Might make a little impact, but if you like it, go ahead. The other thing you can do is if you like the Thinkorswim software, which comes with Ameritrade, as long as you have the Ameritrade account, you have access to Thinkorswim. But then you can open up some other direct access broker and use them to make the trades, but use Thinkorswim as your charting platform. That's not a huge deal right now, especially with the amount of trades you're going to make.
So let me give you background my experience with this software. When I was with Scottrade, like when I ran up my account over to 130K, I did not use any software. I was not using software. I was just using their basic charting that they had on Scottrade. I just getting in positions and sitting on them for like a couple weeks to a month.
Yeah.
Or months, and that's how I ran up my account. I didn't use any software. So when Scottrade got bought by TD Ameritrade, I knew the software existed out there. I wasn't really interested, or maybe I just didn't know to get in. I don't know what happened.
Okay, one second.
You paused? Looks like you're paused now.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you, yes, but
yeah, I'm not. You know what? We can just talk. That's fine.
okay,
There's
fine.
nothing I'm showing you right now, anyway.
Okay, so when I got to TD Ameritrade is when I first opened Thinkorswim, and I realized, okay, so I didn't realize if I was going to stick with it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I started to use the software. I started to understand it, but I didn't learn how to do any scans in it. I barely learned how to do any watch lists because I thought maybe if I was going to, I just started considering it when I was looking for a mentor. And I thought if I was going to get a mentor, maybe I should be use whatever software my mentor does.
Yeah.
So I could, if he's explaining something to me, I don't have to translate it into Thinkorswim and then, figure out my watch list or whatever that way.
Right.
So
right.
I guess the question I have for you is, do you think I should be switching over to?
I don't think it's necessary, especially with your account size. You want to keep your costs as small as possible.
Okay.
So I would say, aside from anything where it's helping you learn, I would not spend. So in terms of software, Thinkorswim is going to be fine.
Okay.
We can set up our charts very similar. Where I like TC2000 is we're going to get into sector analysis and industry analysis. And that's really important. It's like the foundation of what I do as a swing trader. Like most of the stocks I'm watching, stocks I'm trading, they come from sector analysis, that type of thing.
I realize
TC,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So on TC2000, and I used to, I've been trading for years, and I've went through the period where I thought the holy grail was finding these scans and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And you figure out pretty quickly that stuff doesn't work. And so as a swing trader, we want to be we're following where the moves are already kind of taking place. And you can really spot that from the sector analysis. Then I drill down to the stocks. So I don't have scans spitting out stocks to me. These are the hot sectors. Now let me find the best stocks in these sectors, and we go through a process of doing that.
That was exactly my mindset. I had if I could figure out which sectors are moving, the most in the last 2 weeks, break down which stocks are best in that sector, and then follow those.
Right, right. So that's kind of the foundation. Now there are other things we do, like there's obviously breakouts, breakdowns, and overbought and oversold stocks, and we'll get all into that. But that's kind of the foundation. So on on TC2000, it's very. If I could share my screen, it's not letting me share my screen now, but we'll go over it later. Um, I have all my industry indexes, and I have scans that filter them out for me. So it's a real time saver on TC2000. It's $30 a month, I think, for the gold plan. So that's the only thing. And for some reason, it's odd because Thinkorswim is such a great platform, but they don't have a breakdown of the industries, which is really weird. A free way you could do it is go into Finviz. Have you used Finviz before?
Oh, no, I've seen you talk about
Okay,
it.
Finviz has an industry breakdown, and I'll show you how to do it there. It's a little more time consuming, so it's going to take you a little longer, more effort. So if you value your time and you want it to be easier, you can invest the $30 in TC2000,
It's
but
30
it's not
bucks,
required.
30 bucks.
30 to $30 a month, yeah.
Okay, I think that'll be good.
So that's the gold plan. You can do the platinum plan for 100, but you don't need that. So it's really up to you. If you want to do it that way, you can and pay the $30 a month,
Well,
or you can just.
I mean, that's ultimately what I want to do. Is I want to follow good swing trades, and I need sector analysis to do that. If you're saying TC2000 is a great way to do it, I'll probably just switch. 30 bucks a
Yeah,
month.
you might want to do that then. Yeah, so get TC2000.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the only thing that outside of, that's the only thing you would really need to spend on at this point. Okay, so you have some background with me. You've watched some of my videos. Good. I wish I could get myself to work out 4 or 5 times a week. I was supposed to this morning and I didn't. Beach volleyball. All right, so love watching football. I'm a big football fan. All right. Okay, good. Now, the 5K, are you ever going to add to that, or do you just want to build from this 5K?
I thought I would just start with this 5K. I don't want to.
Okay.
It was really painful to lose over 100 grand in a year. I just don't want to have to add to it. What do you suggest?
I think what I would do is start with the 5K. You're going to get some strategies. We're really going to go into risk management. And then if you feel comfortable, you could always add to it if you can, or just try to build from here.
Word to add, how much would you think I should add?
It really depends. One, obviously the less you have, the longer it's going to take to build up, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to take a lot of risk. So, you never want to blow up your account again. So with a 5K account, you shouldn't be risking more than like $100 or $150 a trade. So, imagine with the 150 risk, you're going to be winning, 300 to 500 per trade, and how long that would take to build up. So, and then also it also limits how many different types of positions you can take, right? You basically can't be more than 1 or 2 at a time. So if the more you can add, the more positions you can be taking, because you're going to see a lot of good setups, but you have to decide on the 1 or 2 you're going to take. So if you ever added to, say, like 20 to 30,000, that's a kind of a good spot where you can risk a little more, because 1%, we usually start with like 1%, and obviously that's bigger then. And then you can start to think about taking like 3 or 4 positions at a time. But, first get comfortable with, what you're doing. And then if you decide later on, okay, I feel comfortable adding here and I won't lose my money, you can think about adding. Okay, good. So you don't need this money to pay the rent or anything like that.
No.
Okay, good. All right, so you're interested in more kind of longer term trends. So you play poker. I play a lot of poker.
I used to play a lot of poker, but I've just stopped over the years. I just didn't get around to this.
Oh yeah. Are there any? I'm not that familiar with the East Coast. Are there any good casinos around where you are?
Just like coincidentally, there's Atlantic City,
Oh, right, right.
and I just so happen to be going tomorrow
Oh, are
morning.
you? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Nice. Just to hang out with the family or with some
No,
friends
no, like
or
my wife and baby are in Florida right now visiting her parents.
uh-huh.
And the guys, my guy friends, just kind of like planned this trip. I said, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'll just come. I haven't been there in
Awesome.
years. So I thought maybe
Awesome.
play a little poker this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I think there's I just know this because a guy I play with at a local casino here, he just headed out to Atlantic City. There's uh one of the casinos is Borgata, right?
Yeah, that's where we're staying.
Yeah, so there's a big tournament there coming up. So
Oh,
I think
great.
the yeah,
I,
so
I
if
can't
there's a
play. All the
tournament,
sharks are in town.
right? So I don't know if you play cash games or tournaments. I play more cash games, but usually when there's a tournament, cash games are pretty good. You know, guys bust out a tournament, they go to the cash games.
Yeah,
Uh, all right. So well, the only reason I asked that is because the skills transfer over well. Like if you think about a lot of things you do in poker, they transfer
right,
well to trading.
right,
There's actually hedge funds that would hire like successful poker players who had never traded before because they know kind of the skill set kind of matches.
right.
All right, good. Playing the right way. All right. Okay, so you've now were you a member of the Trade Report or have you listened to the videos on the YouTube page?
I'm a member.
Okay,
Just
and
do.
you have a good feel for what I do and how I'm trading.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Um, okay, and we'll get into the trading.
Although I think, like I noted there, I think there's some conflicts. Like, I want to buy at certain points, and you don't buy when until you go over the 9 EMA, and I want to buy when
Uh-huh.
it's down, not necessarily over the 9 EMA yet. So I was like trying to figure out
Why don't
how to.
you, why don't you next time we meet, why don't you show me some examples if you have them
Okay.
of spots where I took a trade and we're questioning it, or maybe you were going to enter before, or a
Okay.
trade you didn't understand, or something that you thought was setting up and I didn't take it. You know, we can talk about that next time.
Okay.
Um, okay, so I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to start these 4 sessions like I would for anything, and we're going to go from the ground up. And after the 4 sessions, you can decide if you want to continue or not. But
Okay.
we'll take 3 sessions to do earnings breakouts and breakdowns, and that's going to set you up for earnings season, which is just coming up. And
Okay.
then we'll start with market analysis, and that'll take us through the first 4 sessions, and that's how I would do it anyway.
Okay. Great.
So you'll have that, and then from there you can decide if you want to go on further. Um,
The,
and
the
then
full the full mentorship is the 20 sessions.
20 sessions, yeah, and that's not a. It usually takes 20 sessions, but that's not like a hard and fast cutoff.
Mhm.
With some people, I have to go slower, and with sometimes we'll go up to 25 or 26. There's no, but 20 is kind of the expected amount and the amount you definitely get, and then from there we will decide if you need more or not. And there's no extra cost or anything. And then also, just because it's not like we get through the 20 sessions and then boom, we're done and never talk to you again.
Yeah.
We're always like Brian, we've done all our sessions and we still get together all the time. So, or he'll have an issue and say, hey, Paul, I'm having an issue with this, and we get together. So it's like continuing kind of forever, but the real mentorship, teaching, focused aspect is around 20 sessions.
Okay. Would you say that the majority of your students are now like doing really well in the market?
A lot of them are. Some of them give up. Some of them don't get it. And usually everyone has the knowledge base. It's just kind of the psychological aspect. So, for example, I'll give you an example of someone who is not successful. He's a young kid. He's actually over in China teaching. And he's super smart, picked up everything really quick. And over the 2 years I was with him, was trading fantastic. He had started with about 50,000, and in 2 years he'd got it up to around 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got really into the crypto stocks, went away from the strategies, and blew up his entire account.
Yeah.
So there are things that I can't control
Right.
in that sense.
Just so I
but
understand.
everybody has like the knowledge base, and then it's kind of what you do with it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee, but you're going to get the success. You're going to get like a really successful strategy, and then it's really just kind of what you do with it. And what I do is also as we go forward, if you're doing well, and I don't mean just necessarily in terms of results of your trading, but if you're picking things up, it looks like you have the good knowledge base and you have a good feel for it and you're good to work with, I'll put you with other mentorees that I've worked with. So I put them in chat in these hangout groups.
Yeah, no,
So I have
that'd
a
be great.
group right now. We have a group of, and I don't make them big. It's not, if you've ever been in a chat room that like these paid chat
Yeah,
rooms,
I never have. I just heard of them.
they tend to be kind of worthless.
Right. So
It's
that's
almost
one.
like, it almost becomes like Twitter, just a lot of people bullshitting and
Yeah.
little arguments and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If I see that you're that type of person, I don't think you're like that. I One, I won't put you in it, or if you're in it, and you start doing that, I just take you right out. And I keep them small, so when they get big, they tend to get like that. But I'll get a group of like 4 or 5 people who I think will work together, and they're trading the same style. I put you guys together. So Brian's got that with a couple of people. I have another group of day traders. I put 6 or 7 of them together, and they get together every morning and talk about, what they're going to trade and that type of thing. So that's kind of an added thing. It's not a part of this, so it's not like guaranteed, but
Yeah.
you probably will get put into a group of other traders like that as well. And it's not like a chat room charge or anything. I just say, hey, you guys get together, and then you guys do what you want with it. So I
Cool.
think you'll like that a little later on. So any other questions or anything?
Yeah. One more. Have you
Uh,
seen anybody in my position like as like draw down as much as they have and then come back to be successful?
oh yeah, yeah. So I've got a guy who had blown up a $700,000 account, and he wasn't down to five. He had gone from 700 down to I think it was like 20 or 30,000, and it was basically a smart guy. He was in the tech field in the Bay Area, and he knew everything. It was just all the psychological parts of it. And some of the strategies went over he hadn't traded before, and he started trading those. And he's got his account up to around 150,000 now.
Hmm.
And I mean, obviously, it's not back to the 700 where it was before, but his whole mental outlook has changed. He had never actually, in 2 years, he had never had a winning month, which was insane. And now in the what was that?
Before mentorship?
Before mentorship, he had never had a winning month,
Wow.
and he knew what to do. It was just all the
Psychological.
psychological stuff that comes up. Um, and I think now over the last, I've got his stats up here, but over his last 11 or 12 months, I think he's only had 1 or 2 losing months, which is really good. I mean, you're going to have losing months. Um, so yeah, so maybe not five, not down to five, but it's the same thing, whether it's 20 or whether it's five. But I
Yeah.
have had people who have blown up accounts and then do well.
Okay, good. That's reassuring.
Yeah. So,
So
all right, I think we'll go
just do have
ahead.
one more question. So what do you do have like a session that's like psychology related, like and like
We can do a specific session like that, but it's not necessarily like a lesson session where we go, okay,
right?
here's a
So how
lesson. These are the points. It's as we're going through this. This is mentorship. We're going through this. There are going to be some very lesson based sessions. Like the first 3 or 4 you're going to do with me are very lesson based because you have to know what to do,
yeah.
right? But as we go forward, it becomes less lesson based and more like true mentorship,
Okay.
where we're going over your trades, we're analyzing things, and that's where the mental aspect comes in. Where you'll make a trade, and I'll be like, "Why did you do this?" And you'll say, I did this because of this, and then we figure out, okay, this was the issue you had, and it's kind of working through the process that way,
Okay.
rather than. I do have a lesson where we talk about mental issues,
Mhm.
but that's not the real value. The real value is actually breaking down what you're doing and figuring out what your issues are specifically.
I think a
And
lot.
I kind of have a general idea just from knowing what has happened with your trading. And the other thing you did you send me your trades?
I did. I shared them with you on
Okay.
TraderView.
Oh, they are on TraderView. Okay. I haven't gone in and taken a look yet. I will go through before our first session. Let me. All right. I think the reason is okay. Okay, yours isn't your name, so I probably didn't realize it was you. Are you Trader123?
No.
Okay. What's your?
It should be Sid K, maybe.
No, I don't have it here. And you made me. You went in and made me your mentor.
Yeah. You don't have it?
No. Can you send that again? Go into. Do you have it up right now?
I'll pull you up.
Okay, pull it up. Go into the mentor settings and put in my email, the AOL email, not the Gmail.
Oh, that I sent it to your Gmail.
Okay, yeah. My Trader View is with my AOL account.
Okay, I did not. You need this right now?
Oh, let's just make sure we get it set up at least, and then I'll
Gotcha.
go through before our first session and look at your trades. So that'll give me a good feel for what just by looking at the trades, I can tell what mental issues there were.
Okay, let me see. This. You can tell by the trades what mental issues I have.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
And I shouldn't say mental issues makes it sound like crazy or something, but
I got
whatever
some
trading, psychological issue, however we want to say, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, just by looking at your trades, it becomes obvious what the issues are usually. And basically, any mistake you've made, I've made them in the past, and sometimes I still make mistakes. So. I can kind of tell what you're going through when I see those trades. Hey, did you send it?
I'm still trying to send it right here. Give me one
Okay.
second. So, click on your name in the header at the top right.
All right. So you went into mentor settings, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to go log in, go to your login, click on top on the sidebar. It says mentor settings.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I sent it to Paul J. Singh. You want me
Okay.
to?
So send an invite to singjd1@aol.com.
Okay, just sent. And I don't know how far back you needed me to go. I mean, Thinkorswim would only let me do just, I think, a year or so.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, most of your trades came in around that time period, right?
The bad trading.
Okay. All right. Okay, I've got them. All right, good. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. Bria, got started? All right, yeah, so this will give me a good idea. I'll go through this before our next session. So I think we'll start with our next session. We'll go over earnings breakouts. This is not a session. It was just to kind of get together, see where you're at, and now I have a feel for what we should be doing going forward.
Yeah.
So we'll do earnings breakouts on our first session. Let's go ahead and schedule it. And your schedule's pretty open, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do. How about Wednesday? Does that work for you?
Check. So it would have to be like this, right? Where We're just talking back and forth.
Yeah, so I'll be screen sharing here. For some reason, screen share wasn't working today. And you'll see my charts, you'll see the lesson. I'll send you the lesson as well, so you'll have access to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll have to be in front of the computer.
Okay. Yeah, Wednesday looks good. Around the same
Okay,
time.
so yeah, so you're on Eastern time, right? So meeting with someone. I've got a meeting at 8. How about 9 my time, so noon your time?
So it's a 1 hour session, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put that in for now. I mean, I think
Is
I
there
should,
if there's a different day or time that works for you? I'm pretty open next week. Tuesday I can't do. I'm not sure about Monday. I'm headed to the Bay Area, and I don't know if I'm coming back Sunday night or Monday.
mhm.
Um, but basically, Wednesday is pretty open, and Thursday is pretty open, and actually Friday as well.
Let's stick with Wednesday at 12 for now. Uh,
Okay.
I don't know. It looks like my wife has some appointments in here. If I have to change it, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. So we'll do noon your time on Wednesday, and it'll be around an hour. It can go a little over, but depending on how long it takes to get through it and how many questions you have. But yeah, you should be done by somewhere around 1 your time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in an apartment. I'm not in a house. This is like the only room I have where my computer's set up. So if my wife is like walking around in the background of my
Uh,
baby's.
that's okay. That doesn't matter. I'm the same way. I've got people running around all over the place as well.
Okay.
So, all right, cool. So, yeah, enjoy Atlantic City. Don't get too crazy.
I won't.
Hopefully, I'll see you on Wednesday and you'll be recovered.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Paul.
Yep.
This is really helpful, and I'm just looking forward to kind of
Yeah.
get.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, on Wednesday we'll get started,
All
and
right.
you'll get a lot to get ready for earnings season.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right, Sibby. Talk to you soon.
All right.